Hey guys, thank you all so much for your well wishes over the past few days. As you know, I've been quarantined at home, hence new set. This is my living room. It's tough, but we soldier on. Fortunately, my symptoms aren't too bad, so I can still bring you the latest information and analysis on the local stock market. The Tropical Batteries IPO opens tomorrow, and I'm here to break down everything you need to know from the company's prospectus. I'm Kalila Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays JA, brought to you by Proven Wealth. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on those post notifications. Also, subscribe to our newsletter by clicking the link in the description box below. So Tropical Battery released the prospectus for its IPO last week and announced that it's selling up to 325 million ordinary shares for $1 a share. That's less than 1 cent US, 7/10 of 1 cent actually. The minimum purchase is just 1,000 shares, so you could buy shares in Tropical Battery for just 1,000 Jamaican dollars, or about $7 US. And I keep telling you that you don't have to be rich to start investing. Even in this tough time, I'm sure you could find a grand. That's not an endorsement, by the way, just, keep listening. Okay, so the 70-year-old family company holds the largest market share in Jamaica. According to their own internal research, 3 out of every 4 car batteries in Jamaica are from Tropical Battery. Their main competitors, you have AC Delco from Stewart Industrial, Daewoo, and also Rocket Brands sold by Tire Warehouse and Tires R Us, and Miatsu and Track from Chad Ad Distributors Limited. But chances are, if you own a car, you've either used or at least heard of Tropical Battery. They have excellent brand recognition and they're widely known for the warranties on their batteries. The company says it makes about 15% return on its $550 million in capital each year. That's about $4 million US in capital. And they hold a relatively low level of debt. So the IPO opens at 9 tomorrow morning, September 22, 2020. It's scheduled to close on September 30, but as you know, it may close early. I expect this one to open and close on the same day. That's because only 137.5 million shares are being offered to the public. The rest are reserved for the company's directors, their employees, their mentor, key stakeholders, and their broker NCB Capital Markets at the same price of $1 a share. Now at that price, 137.5 million shares for the public means that they're only seeking 137.5 million Jamaican dollars from the public. That's less than $1 million US, 981,000 to be exact. And we just saw where Barita raised 100 times that in their APO. Their offer was actually oversubscribed, so they ended up raising 13.5 billion Jamaican dollars. So money is out there even in this difficult time. And the Tropical Battery IPO is one that investors have been anticipating for some time, so I expect this offer to close very early. A successful subscription, by the way, would result in the company seeking to list on the junior market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, which will allow it to benefit from 10 years of tax breaks. That's, of course, one of the major benefits of listing on the junior market. Before we go any further, though, let me tell you 3 interesting things about Tropical Battery that you probably didn't know. Number 1. Tropical Battery Limited was founded in 1950 by an American businessman named Tex Williams. Sounds Texan or, ranch. Like John Melville brought the company in 1967. He bought the company in 1967, and the company is still controlled today by the Melville family through the holding entity Diverse Limited. The brothers Mark Alexander and Daniel Melville currently run the business, serving as chairman, managing director, and vice president for sales and marketing, respectively. The second thing, Tropical Battery plans to start selling lithium-ion batteries. These are the same batteries used in electric vehicles and energy storage plants. Originally, Tropical Battery started as a manufacturer of lead-acid storage batteries, but they changed their business model in the early 90s from manufacturing to distribution. And that switch has worked in their favor because it's begun branching out into other products. So while their core business is still selling car batteries, other products such as brake fluid, oils, lubricants, and tires have been brought into the fold. And number 3, since COVID, Tropical Battery has ramped up its mobile response and deliveries, which earn nearly $4 million a month. They started this part of the business actually 3 years ago with soft trials in the corporate area in Montego Bay. But now with the pandemic, they brought it forward and they offer the service in Kingston, Mobay, Mandeville, and Ocho Rios. Now back to the IPO. So Tropical Battery is selling 25% of the company through the stock exchange. Like I said, that's 325 million shares. Half of those shares are being sold by the company's existing shareholders, and the other half are brand new shares created just for this IPO. Now about the share price of $1. On the surface, it may seem cheap, but in a bearish market, does it really represent value for money? Well, that depends on whether your wealth advisor believes that the company will grow its profit beyond the 87 million or about 620,000 US dollars that it earned in the 2019 financial year. According to the prospectus, 2019 was a special year for the company. That 87 million signaled a complete turnaround from just 4 years earlier when they made a loss of $82 million. The latest financials for the June quarter 2020 show profits slightly down year on year, but of course that would have been affected by the lockdown. A key variable relates to whether the company can grow profit in the fourth quarter and beyond. According to the prospectus, over the last 5 years, the company grew its profits by an average of 75%. And like I mentioned earlier, and as you can see on this chart taken from the prospectus, they've really turned around the company in the past 5 years. 2015 was a pretty bad year for Tropical Battery, and I'll have Managing Director Alexander Melville on Taking Stock tomorrow, and I'll ask him what was going on at the time, why they were making a loss. What we do know from the prospectus, though, is that was the year that the Melvilles decided to turn things around and focus all their efforts on the company. FYI, this family also owns another very well-known tourism company in the Caribbean, Chukka Tours. In 2014, Alexander gave up his role at Chukka to come and steer the ship at Tropical. And the following year, his brother Daniel also left Chukka to lead the sales and marketing team at Tropical Battery. And you can see from the charts what the result has been. Now to the use of proceeds. Why does Tropical Battery want our money? According to the prospectus, they intend to use part of the funds as working capital to repay debt and also to finance new product lines. This includes, as hinted earlier, lithium batteries, stop-start technology, and other renewable storage products. They're also looking to expand their tires and lubricants offerings. Additionally, they want to upgrade several of their retail stores and complete the build-out of their new warehouse, head office, and retail store at Ferry St. Catherine. The company would also use the funds to buy IT systems for greater efficiency and better customer service. And finally, they also want to expand their fleet of delivery vehicles. Very important in these COVID times, people want delivery. As for the dividend policy now, as you know, dividends are your share of the company's profits as an investor. It's one of the ways that you make money by investing. You're not guaranteed a dividend, but if there are enough profits, then the company may choose to share that with investors. Their dividend policy states that profits will be shared in the following priority. First, to provide working capital to continue operations and grow the company. Second, to boost their reserves. Every company needs reserves, especially in times like these. COVID has taught us the importance of having cash reserves. And then thirdly, they intend to pay up to 50% of what's left as dividends for us. Now, before I go, I have to remind you that every investment has risks, and this one is no different. Every company has been affected by the pandemic. Tropical Battery says that as the pandemic deepens, they're aware that customers may migrate towards their cheaper line of batteries. And they claim that this wouldn't affect their gross profit margins much, but it would likely have some type of impact on their overall profitability. They also say that they now expect to make 8% less revenue than they had originally expected for 2020. However, it would still be more than what they made last year. Another risk to this investment is foreign currency. Tropical Battery buys most of its products from international suppliers, so they need US dollars for that. But as you know, the value of the Jamaican dollar versus the US has been having some really wide swings lately, and this exposes the company to foreign currency losses because they may not be able to adjust prices fast enough to keep up with the depreciation. Also, if their competitors aren't changing prices, then they might not be able to either in order to stay competitive. There's also the risk that new technology may reduce the need for lead-acid batteries, which is Tropical Battery's core product. Electric cars are getting more popular, and those use a different kind of battery that lasts much longer. Additionally, as more developed countries start using more electric cars, the battery companies there might turn to countries like Jamaica to dump their products at very low prices. I'll ask Alexander about these issues later when he comes on Taking Stock as well. Now, if you're interested in this IPO, you can apply online through NCB's Go IPO app or by visiting NCB Capital Markets. But first, make sure you contact your licensed financial advisor to find out if this is a good fit for you. I am not a licensed financial advisor, so nothing I've said here is to be taken as advice, but you can consult a licensed advisor at Proven Wealth by visiting provenwealth.com or reaching out to them on social media at We Are Proven. So that's it for this episode of Money Mondays JA. Now, here's what's coming up on Taking Stock.
How would you like to own a piece of the pie in an energy storage company? Tropical Battery is seeking $325 million in an initial public offer IPO priced at $1 per share. We'll discuss with Managing Director of Tropical Battery, Alexander Melville, and Lead Broker NCB Capital Markets. Manager Wealth Management and Syndication at NCB Capital Markets, Sansia Thomas McDonald, will also join us. And later, the analysts continue the discussion on Tropical Battery's IPO, and has the market bottomed out? We'll find out.
Now mark your calendars, guys. My new website will be launched on September 30 at Digital Housing. I can't wait to show it to you. I also have a couple of new products coming up, so stay tuned. And sign up for our newsletter at takingstock-ja.com for business news, analysis, and a transcript of this episode. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Thanks for watching and stay safe.